Good morning, Bishop Lynch. Today is November 16th, 2016. I'm Brandon Balicki.
And I'm Tyler Williams.
And you're watching this week's edition of Across Campus.
Hello there!
Salutations!
We just got off the Mayflower.
Yes, we the people believe that it is our manifest destiny to celebrate the first Thanksgiving at Bishop Lynch High School.
Right here.
Let's do it. We just got off the Mayflower voyage. It was delayed, and we're just wondering, did we miss the first Thanksgiving?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Welcome Center. They'll know what's up. Hello! Greetings! I am Pilgrim. Oh, do you need to answer that? What is that? What the heck is, what's she doing? I don't know.
Talking on some sort of device.
What's a device? She's talking.
This is atrocious. No sleeves. They would be burned at the stake.
Burned.
Time.
A light bulb?
Yeah.
I don't know. It comes from the gods.
The gods. The gods brought us here. Manifest destiny. Good to meet you, sir.
Well, it's obvious that these friars don't know anything about the Pilgrims. I think it's time for some enlightenment. Did you know that Ben Franklin didn't want the national bird to be an eagle? Can you take a gander at what he wanted it to be?
Pelican?
A hawk?
Not a hawk.
No.
In fact, he wanted it to be a turkey.
Would you like to participate in a Mayflower dance with us? It's traditional Pilgrim dance. All right. All right, ready for this? Okay. So, we're going to need to skip around. All right.
Why am I feeling Tislit?
Tislet.
They say April showers bring Mayflowers. What do Mayflowers bring? Pilgrims.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Can we get political with you guys?
Oh, no.
Are you
I'm not
voting
political. Yes,
for
yes.
Jefferson or Adams?
I'm voting for Jefferson. Yeah,
It's a tough
Jefferson.
election year.
Same here.
Heard about this Trump guy? I don't know who he is.
He's a little after y'all's time, it looks like.
Yeah.
You probably aren't
We're
happy with
thoroughly
that.
confused.
Yeah,
Did you know that the Mayflower didn't land in Plymouth first? Actually, it landed in Cape Cod.
Did you know Americans consume 46 million turkeys a year?
No.
What day do you think they consume them on?
Thanksgiving.
That's right! Greetings, everyone! Did you know that there are 4 places in the U.S. named Turkey? There's one in Texas, Turkey, Texas, Turkey, North Carolina, Turkey Creek, Arizona, and Upper Turkey Foot and Lower Turkey Foot in Pennsylvania. Bet you didn't know that one. You didn't. Female turkeys do not gobble.
In fact, they cackle.
Like this. And last but not least, did you know turkeys run 20 miles per hour? Pretty fast. Farewell, Bishop Lynch.
It's been fun, but it's time to go back to Plymouth.
Oh. And happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey Brandon, are you excited for the Dallas Cowboys playing on Thanksgiving this year?
Wait, NFL plays on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, didn't you know the Dallas Cowboys always play on Thanksgiving? I'm sure that Max and Joe can catch you up on this.
Hey Jared, do you see that football over there?
Yeah?
Could you hold that for me and I'm gonna run up and kick it?
Are you reciting that from Charlie Brown?
Possibly, but I mean it's a Thanksgiving tradition. My family always watches the Charlie Brown episode on Thanksgiving Day.
And before a Cowboys game, me and my family throw the football around in the front yard.
I wonder how far the tradition of football goes back on Thanksgiving Day.
The Detroit Lions have played in the most Thanksgiving games with 76. The Detroit Lions record is 36, 38, and 2. The Dallas Cowboys have played in the second most Thanksgiving games with 48. Their record is 29, 18, and 1. The tradition of the Detroit Lions playing on Thanksgiving Day began in 1934. The Lions have played on every Thanksgiving Day since 1934, except for during 1941 and 1944, when no games were played due to World War II. The tradition of the Dallas Cowboys playing on Thanksgiving Day began in 1966 when the Cowboys were still part of the AFL, which is the American Football League. The St. Louis Cardinals replaced the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving during the 1975 and 1977 seasons. Dallas has hosted in every other year since 1966. Troy Aikman's 455 passing yards versus Minnesota in 1998 is the most of any quarterback on Thanksgiving. O.J. Simpson has the most rushing yards in a single Thanksgiving Day game, with 273 versus Detroit in 1976. Ernie Nevers holds the record for the most touchdowns in a Thanksgiving game, with 6 in 1929. The modern-day mark is held by Sterling Sharp, who scored 4 touchdowns versus Detroit in 1994. The Green Bay Packers have the second most Turkey Day losses with 19. John Madden, then with CBS and later with Fox, began awarding the turkey leg to the player chosen as the MVP of the game, which is now called the Galloping Gobbler. Emmitt Smith has won the most turkey leg Galloping Gobbler 5 times, the most by any player. Some of the most memorable Thanksgiving moments in football include Clint Longley, the one-hit wonder, with the Dallas Cowboys trailing 23-3. Unknown backup Clint Longley entered the game for the injured Roger Staubach and led the Cowboys to a 24-23 victory. In 1993, Leon Lett. On a snowy Thanksgiving Day in Dallas in 1993, the Cowboys were clinging to a 14-13 lead with under 20 seconds left as Miami lined up for a game-winning field goal try. After the Cowboys blocked the kick, apparently clinching a win, Leon Lett inexplicably slid into the football, making it a live ball which was recovered by the Miami Dolphins. Miami made a field goal on the next play to win the game in a most improbable way. In 1998, Jerome Bettis calls tails. Referee Phil Luckett says he called heads. On the overtime coin flip, Bettis can be heard calling tails, but apparently the official claims he said heads. Apparently Bettis did say heads and then changed it to tails, but all you heard on the audio was his heads. The Lions went on to win the game in OT 1960.
The first game that takes place on this Thanksgiving starts at 11:30 a.m. on CBS with Matthew Stafford, a Dallas native, and the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Then at 3:30 p.m. on Fox, the Dallas Cowboys and the dynamic duo of Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott take on Kirk Cousins and the Washington Redskins. Then to end it off at 7:30 p.m. on NBC, Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts take on Antonio Brown and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving and has a fun time watching football.
But let's all remember the true meaning of Thanksgiving, spending time with your friends and family. This has been Max Danielson
And Jared Hedges
reporting for
across campus.
Thanksgiving was not always celebrated the way it is now. Much like Christmas, the holiday used to entail celebrations outside, with children going door to door, much like they do on Halloween, not asking for candy but for food, while adults drank and marched in the streets. The holiday began to change when it was recontextualized by Sarah Josepha Hale in her editorials in Godey's magazine, redefining the holiday as a domestic celebration characterized by family returning home and spending time together over a meal. Her goal was to get governors and statesmen to recognize the day as a national holiday, in an effort to bring fraternity and gratitude to a collapsing union. Her efforts failed, however, as the country descended further into civil war. However, in 1863, President Lincoln did make Thanksgiving a national federal holiday. This new celebration was categorized by families coming together in peace in the home, rather than in the outdoor celebrations of times past. Old traditions, like children asking for food, were traded out for new ones, like the Thanksgiving meal with the turkey at the helm, and the retelling of the stories of the first Americans, the Pilgrims, making the event something wholly American. The entire holiday and what it stood for became entirely different, taught in schools as a time to be thankful and remember the past. There are several problems that I personally take with the holiday, namely the false account of the Pilgrims' first contact with the natives, and the perpetuation of female domesticity in the 1800s separate spheres way of thinking that largely contributed to the lasting gender biases we're battling today. But, at the same time, perhaps the changes made to the holiday represent something more, a time to come together as a nation of people from all walks of life, to be thankful and cherish what we have. To me, the core of Thanksgiving is unity. At a time when the cultural and political landscape of the U.S. is in turmoil, where a peaceful transition of presidential power is met with protest and violence, and when a nation built on the many cultures that shaped its foundation is rocked by fears of terrorism, unity stands as an important thing to remember. We have the chance now to come together despite our modern differences, to defend the values of gratitude and fraternity, in a time when such things have become absent from our society. So, this Thanksgiving, I implore you to come together not only as a family, but as a country, not separated by race, gender, or religion, but unified under the idea that we are all human. Perhaps Thanksgiving is on the cusp of being redefined once more, but it's our responsibility to shape it into something we can all be proud of, a responsibility for which we should be thankful. I hope you all have a lovely Thanksgiving. This has been Jake Schmieder reporting for Across Campus.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Across Campus. Students, remember the gifts that you have been given and be thankful.
During this season, many people rely on us for basic necessities while we are at home celebrating. So remember to donate to our annual food drive and fill the space in the atrium. This has been Brandon Bilicki
and Tyler Williams
reporting for Across
Campus.